Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second part of our public forum on climate change and the future of food security. In this segment, we are going to have a panel discussion. Our panelists are Dr. Dale Rankin, who you have already met. He will speak and bring you into the conversation on climate change and food security. Ms. Martina Duncan from the FAO will join us by Zoom. I think she just from Bangladesh. She's on. Dr. Donovan Campbell, you have already met. He will speak to climate change and food security, key risks and response options. And Mr. Hugh Johnson, a practicing farmer, representative of the Bernard Lodge Farmers Group and the Jamaica Agricultural Society, speaking on imperatives for the future of Jamaica's food security. Each panelist will be given 10 minutes. And you know, I think these matters 10 minutes is a long time. So say your piece. And they're going to go in that order. And of course, Ms. Martinez will join us by Zoom. So we just focus on the screen while she's speaking. The panel itself will be followed by a question and answer session, and then we'll wrap up. So, our first panelist, Mr. Dale Rankin, from the Department of Physics in the Faculty of Science and Technology, and also working on matters relating to agriculture climate modeling research, and under the regional track of the pilot program for climate resilience, the PPCR project. His research interests are climate and crop simulation modeling, and more broadly, assessing climate change impact on socioeconomic of Jamaica and the wider Caribbean. Mr. Rankin had a stint as in the Meteorological Service, where I first met him when I was PS in the Ministry of Land and Environment under the Jamaica Still. And he was later employed by the United Nations Development Program, eminently qualified to speak on this matter. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Dale Rankin.
Thank you very much, Sandra. Good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everybody else. Okay, so I have 10 minutes, and I really have, hopefully we will capture the main theme. For the sake of the students in the audience, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to allow me to engage them. I think it's, and hopefully we can decide some of the stuff together, the sort of together, if you don't mind. All right. Okay. So the whole notion about climate change and food security has been around for quite a while, and we've seen a number of adverse impacts. One of the graphics I'm just putting up here before I actually get into the presentation is that, however you define it, the projection suggests that use of crops and livestock will be negatively impacted, both in temperate countries, from where we derive most of our imported foods, and in tropical regions where we produce our own food. So no matter how you take it, we are having significant challenges. So the conversations are reacting whenever we have a significant event. And mention was made before of the rapid intensification that we've seen of systems across the climate basin. You wake up one morning, you have a category 1, and by the time you go to bed the next morning, or get the next morning is category 5. We've seen significant damage to a number of our Caribbean islands, and not just the agriculture sector per se, but almost every system economic sector. You wake up one morning, you have a category 1, and by the time you go to bed the next morning, or get the next morning is category 5. We've seen significant damage to a number of our Caribbean islands, and not just the agriculture sector per se, but almost every system economic sector. And for the first time in living memory, one entire island, Barbuda, as you know, has to be totally evacuated. So I thought that we would bring you into the conversation with a number of ways. And this you in the conversation is looking at three words whenever we're going to talk about agriculture and food security that all begin with you, that must be contemplated and be part of any discussion about climate change and agriculture. The first one I want to talk about is unpredictable. What's the first one, students? Unpredictable. Good. So you're still with me. First thing I want to say, anybody can say. Anybody feel hotter in the night, by the way? Yes, it's not a figment of the imagination. It is actually hotter in the night, right? We've actually seen that we're getting hotter. The frequency of hot nights and hot days has actually increased in Jamaica. And the rate at which temperatures are increasing is at a higher rate in the night than it is in the day. So we are actually having significant hotter days. Not only that, our rainfall is variable, right? So whenever you have a drought, it's very intense. And whenever it rains, it really rains. Everybody can see it, right? We're also experiencing more intense events and more intense hurricanes. And certainly we're actually seeing the change in pattern of extreme events across the Caribbean. But not only that, we are also experiencing sea level rise. And in this particular context, one of the challenges that we actually have is that if you look right here on this graphic, you can see where our sea level was back in the 70s, and you can actually see that is overtaken by water. The sea levels are rising for primarily two reasons. One, we're having warmer sea surface temperatures. So when the water warms, it expands. And also we're having melting of snow caps and ice cover. And so that is increasing the volume of the water. All right, so we're having a challenge here. So it's getting hotter, all right? Rainfall is more variable. We have more extreme events and we have higher sea levels. So what does that have to do with anything? A whole lot, I want to suggest. So in the Caribbean, our entire economy is based on climate. In fact, it's not that the schools are overly generous why we get a long summer holidays, because schools have to eat food, right? That's really why we have summer holidays all about it. Everybody knows our pattern of rainfall. We have 2 feet of rainfall. Our temperatures are pretty much high right through the year, but we do get higher temperatures in what we call our summer months. All right? In most of the islands, we either live on a floodplain or a coastal plain, or you live on steep slopes. So no matter what happens, if it rains heavily, you're going to have landslide. And if you have significant rain for a prolonged period of time, you're going to have some amount of flooding. So we have a challenge here for agriculture, which Dr. Stanbury indicated initially was very vulnerable. First of all, most of our production, up to 90% of our domestic production, is exclusively rain-fed with no supplemental irrigation. That's one of the challenges that we have. Our farms are typically small and rely on this data period here when we are supposed to have our rainfall for farming. Right? And so we have a significant challenge because here now we have very sensitive to any kind of adverse weather condition. We have a high reliance on importation of food. So of course, if there's any external shock, if there's any problem with food transportation, we have a challenge right here. Now, this graphic here shows what is called an agricultural food production index. Whenever we have favorable conditions, all right, no hurricanes, no drought, it peaks. Whenever for food and security, for food and nutrition security for the region. So if the first U was unpredictable, the second U is what, ladies and gentlemen, unprecedented. What do we mean by that? Here's a formula. I could give you one of the guru formulas that we use for climate, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you a very simple one. It says what? Model plus scenario equals future climate. Can you say that with me? Model plus scenario equals what? Future climate. So when those people sit down in the dark room in the night and try to crunch numbers, this is how we come up with a future climate. We actually have models that are used to define how the climate is going to be. Our temperatures right now for the last 100 years have risen by 0.1 degrees. We are suggesting only 2% of the days will be regarded as being cool. But not only that, we are going to also see drier conditions. And what is critical about this is that the main drying that's about that 30% that is being gathered is not critical for us. More intense hurricanes are projected, and also higher sea levels. And sea levels have a significant problem for us because most of our major production areas are within earshot of the country. Not only that, our significantly, most of our major infrastructure are also along the coastal areas. So that has implications for even food transportation as well. So in terms of what we're seeing for the future, 1 to 4 degrees, right? Variable rainfall, no, more variable rainfall in the future, but up to 30% lighter. More extreme hurricanes, and in the future more intense, and 3.5 millimeters per year, which works out about 0.5 millimeters if you were rising at an average rate in 100 years, but the future suggests a much higher rate of sea level rise, 1 to 2 meters. So our future will see unprecedented climate change. And so what? Well, here's one of the challenges that we actually have. Unprecedented climate means unprecedented impact. I present to you an index that is called a temperature humidity index. And it actually gives a number of threshold values for what the animal actually feels. Normal stress, moderate, severe, very severe. All right? Let's bear these figures in mind. One of the things that we're actually seeing is that we did that projection looking at the future. And the future is suggesting this is at presently value, this is 1.5, 1 degree, 1.2, 2.5, which everybody is actually talking about 1.5 per square mile. And what it is suggesting is that the future, almost 7 to 9 months of the year, the animals will be experiencing severe heat stress. That has significant implications for the productivity of livestock. And here's why. This is a graphic showing the production of eggs as heat stress increases. And you can realize that once you surpass the threshold of place in the production of eggs, right? Not only that, but the eggs that are produced are more brittle as well, right? That is another challenge that we have to look at. Now, as you look also at some of our crops, right? You're seeing here that as we move forward in time on a different kind of soil, this is looking at potato, the areas that are favorable for production decrease significantly. And that is the true also for tomato, and even the true also for tomato, and even sweet potato, which is a crop that is known to have tolerance. And so it's the dangers of smoking. It is written on the box, and we have more. Right. Not to be confused with migration, right? So mitigation in this context now talks about actions that we can take to reduce the amount of emissions that we actually have, right, from greenhouse gases. Right? We have our energy sector, we can actually do recycling, all right, improve waste management. If the first shot is mitigation, the second one is what? Adaptation. Now, this is where we change our behaviors now in order to live with the change that we have. And the third one is in keeping what we're doing today, is education, all right? And these are conscious actions that we have to take. We have to be convinced about them, and we have to be convicted about the issue. Now, where these final things are concerned, and some of the final couple slides, because the chair is running off. For mitigation, there are a number of things we can do. Improve land management. Even with the livestock sector is concerned, we can do better litter management, and that is one of the things that we can actually do. In the field, right now, a number of our production systems, for example, especially for livestock, don't practice heat mitigation. Just putting like leaves on top of the whole foods and actually wetting them and putting bagasse inside of the things that we can actually do. But also, mitigation can be accompanied by adaptation. And in this particular context, we're talking about diversifying our agricultural practices, incorporating more irrigation, and we have to do more early warning. Right? I think this is one of the critical things that are unpredictable and they're unreliable, they're unprecedented, becomes unproductive. I suggest if we take urgent action, then our climate sensitive sectors will become undeniable partners in the pursuit of food security.
Okay, so I'm quickly mentioning the recent federal increase in agricultural commodities prices, which can impact the economic and social status of the entire population. And this is particularly in countries where an important part of the household budget is spent on food. So the expected impact of climate change on agricultural production are generally negative for areas with the highest concentration of poor and food insecure smallholders, and for countries with a high dependence on agriculture in the national economy, in some of the developing countries. Now, most models projections of food prices increasing agriculture crops and commodities going forward. So we are still looking at water management. Also, there's something called the National Determined Contributions. In communicating the National Determined Contributions, or NDCs, parties give considerable importance to the agricultural land use and land use change and forestry sectors. An analysis that was conducted highlighted that 89% of country mitigation contributions cover agriculture. And of the 131 countries, there are 184 parties to the UNFCCC. Of the 131 that included adaptation as a priority area, 88% of disciplinary knowledge to inform technological solutions, knowledge generation and sharing, as well as good practices, participatory and
Department of Geography and Geology. Dr. Campbell is currently a lead author for the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, where he's working on Small Island Structure and the sixth assessment report. Give him a hand, please. That's a big thing from UWM. He's also serving a senior capacity for the recently published special report on climate change and land. He has provided technical support on several climate change and development programs, projects of regional and national significance. Dr. Campbell.
Good afternoon, everyone. I recognize that I stand between you and lunch, so I will try to be as quick as possible. We've heard a lot about the implications of climate change for food security, and they're real. The science is on to get going. We don't have to wait until we have perfect information. Impacts are annual average loss in the range of 200, and we learned that impacts are real. That there are significant losses just between 2015 and 2017. You're talking about an annual average loss in the range of 200,000 that we provide here. And not much attention is given to the consumption end. Right. And most of the agricultural lands globally for animals. And so our love for the consumption of meat, the pork, the beef, the chicken, those are important drivers as well of climate change globally. So we have to recognize that there's a big behavior change component and element that is embedded in how we address climate certain people. And so those differences become the depletion of our fish stocks. They provide many benefits, and as you can see here, food security is one of them.
Long, but really important. Our final most productive land in Jamaica is also associated with the Jamaica Agricultural Society, as well as a cocoa farmer of repute and the president of the Small Business Association of Jamaica, my good friend. We'll speak now to for the future of Jamaica's food security. Please bring my hand.
Thank you. Here with him, and I want to also share with you that yes, in the sector, we are searching for information and knowledge, and academia has a wealth of information and knowledge, and never can refrain. What highlights, I pause here to outline what, as a group of farmers in the Burnham area, have been advocating for. Some of the alarming facts are, number one, irrigation. We will see in presentations how climate change will impact our food security. Hence, in obesity. What that will do, it will plastic ban. But as it relates to the fact that you can't be putting measures in place to mitigate these challenges in one end or with one hand, and with the next, you are doing greater damage to cause greater harm to your body. That hunger and poverty must be addressed simultaneously by raising income and youth, decent employment, ensuring adequate social protection, and enhancing the functioning of the market. Increasing intervention in rural areas is critical, as this is indeed where the majority of the extreme poor and chronically food insecure live, of the country's weather and quality of environment. These issues are not exclusive to Jamaica, and just 2 days ago, a similar situation like what we are facing in Vernon Light is occurring in South Africa, and those guys have taken it to the court. I haven't gotten any report on it yet, but Tuesday, it is 2 days ago, it went to the Supreme Court and it goes to the court system as we speak. We must engage the authorities, just as how the Philippi horticultural farmers engage them, because originally they had 10,000 attention, everything around the day. It is for us to ponder as we see these figures, we understand them, understand the effect that it will cause upon us and future generations, and I beg of you to stand up and in standing up, lobby your political representative that this is what you want. If you will support this, you'll get my vote. If you don't, you won't. Thank you.
My vote you. Okay, so you have heard it all from our comments. Please give them another round of applause. And they have painted a very real and stark picture. But the one thing I'm happy is that each speaker engages with us, and those who spoke before are quite prepared to provide answers. So there's a roving microphone here. You can help us. Yes.
I the public food security has been my name is Lily Walker. I'm a professor at law at the of the university. So, food security has been a big topic for a long time. My concern with and the fact is that food security has been a big issue. Not just been a topic, but it's been a huge issue because there are so many people who are undernourished, starving, all of that for years and years. So my concern is that by linking food security with climate change, that food security is going to be left over
who will educate and train young persons to help so
and my name is Sharon, right? And I'm actually from faculty of Bedford. But the topic comes at the issue of understand, right? And Bedford. but the topic comes address the issue of and that's why I'm here. I am Victoria from Student Facilities. I'd like to know to what extent is the Ministry of Agriculture doing in terms of sustainable agriculture in urban spaces, for example, inner city communities, individuals that don't have like access to land, initiatives such as permaculture, aquanomics. So to what extent are those initiatives being implemented in urban spaces?
Let us take the answer. Who wants to go to first? Are we leaving behind food security when we link it with climate change, due to the sexiness of climate change? Will?
Thank you very much, Dave. Okay, so I will not disagree with you. No, I don't think we're looking at the topic. I think we're actually elevating it in a significant way. There's no way one can talk about agriculture food production. So we're talking about fisheries. On the second question, now speaking about training and education of young people as it relates to agriculture. The ministry is currently developing a youth in agriculture policy, where we're trying to get the youth to be more involved in agriculture, to see agriculture as being more sexy, as being a more economically viable activity. Gone are the days when you think about a farmer as just a man with a machete in his hand and a shovel thereabouts. We want to incorporate new methodology, technology in agriculture, and we look to the youth to help with this. Currently, it is believed that the average age of farmers in Jamaica is about 50 thereabouts. Yes, so we want to reduce that age. If those persons stop exit the agriculture space, who is there to fill that out? So we look to the youth to do that. As it relates to the other question about, or part B of that question about utilization of fertile land for other for activities, we have to
The major cause of crop loss in Gambia. Dr. Campbell said there's a shortage of policy and plans. Okay? And I think the farmers, from a functional perspective, what concerns me is, I remember almost 10 years ago, I coordinated a workshop for the FAO in Antigua, funded by the CE, IECLA, our food production, but nutritional security has to be affordable. It's in the hands of small, not going to make any progress, because somebody made a point a while ago that there's a difference between, I'm a quasi-academic.
a pound of beef extract a disproportionate amount of.
Dr. Kander mentioned earlier that the 20%, about 20% of our arable land is actually irrigated as well. I can't remember the final details of those, but I do know that we see this as spatially in terms of technologies. When I think of technology, I think of hardware, software, hardware. There's some technologies that are just out of the reach of the small farmers in terms of simulating languages that can be designed with farmers. So there's a whole methodology that has to go in the technologies that can be designed with farmers. So there's a whole methodology that has to go in the implementation.
From many of the projects and many donors. Tourism of Ecuador.
Everybody, my name is Nina Clébré. I'm historian. I'm coming from the French Institute Research Institute of the Development, which is located in Paris, and I am here in Salices, and a very efficient contribution to build, or I think it's necessary before to speak and for climate change issues and to try many and to create many rules. It's not the time to build up an investigation about what we called in the 90s environmental governance. Because that I think that we need history. Now we speak about climate change as something new, and this is a new concept, but in the 80s it was the biodiversity protection, environmental, and this is a new thing. And I don't know what is the case here in Jamaica because it's my first thing.
So that I believe further and more serious action needs.
Wonderful work is going on here, and particularly impressed with Dr. Campbell's presentation. But as a practitioner who was out there, I wish I had seen it in those days. Because the truth is, we declare all of those things and thank you for your vote of confidence, because I have to claim paternity to these things.
Dr. Donovan Stanbury, sorry. Dr. Donovan Campbell.